Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Glory to God. Glory to God. Kayode, how are you? Ekaleo. Akona Okere, God bless you. How are you doing? Welcome. All right, thank you for joining tonight. Okay. All right. And just give me a couple of minutes, just like hang around a bit to welcome a couple of people. More. Thank you, God. Yes, I got. Yeah, I salute too. Akuna, listen to that. Akuna, okay. Yeah, we connected on Facebook recently. Akuna, I maybe you're going to introduce yourself to me better. Maybe on my message box. Please do. Just to know more about you. All right. Yes. Good evening. Yes. As a word of introduction, I'm Cyril Okere, Reverend Cyril Okere, and of Citygate Ministries International. And this forum is called the Sentinel. The Sentinel is the media arm of the ministry, Citygate Ministries International. So you are welcome. And as I always say, if this blesses you, if you get any nugget of truth and wisdom, any insight, then please feel free to share it. Share the video with your friends and acquaintances, and speak the content. Even share that truth, that nugget of wisdom you gleaned from it, with the people you come across with. I always encourage that. Right. Today is the completion. Michael, in okay, Michelle. Oh, Mike Obina. Is that Obina Okere? If you did, okay. Tell me if you, Mike Obina. Okay. We'll talk more. Don't worry. All right. So please feel free to share and feel free to invite others. Yeah. The main thing is this. Just help me cascade it. Help me let more people hear it, because I believe that what we're sharing here, um, nuggets of truth here, kingdom truth for that matter, it can change lives, it can change families, it can change communities, it can change nations and transform cultures. Right. That's why we're doing what we're doing. Okay. What I would yes, as a way of introduction, this tonight's topic is a conclusion of the trilogy that we started. We started on 3 weeks ago, I think. Yes, we did introduce the concept of leadership. Sorry, I say leadership, of unity, Christian unity for that matter, as okay, his daughter. All right, don't worry. I could now. We will talk more privately. Okay, or we chat more privately anyway. Thanks for joining us tonight anyway. So I'm saying that yes, it's the third part, maybe fourth session, but third part definitely of a trilogy. But the very first one, as an introduction, we just talked about the 3 M's of Christian unity, and then the following session we picked the first M, which was the mystery of Christian unity. The following week to that, we looked at the mandate, and that was last week, Sunday, the mandate of Christian unity. And today we're looking at the last in the series, which is the message of Christian unity. Okay, so we're considering Christian unity as a message. Now, before we start, let's just think of a message. I mean, it's almost redundant for me to begin to define it. But for what it's worth, let's look at Christian unity. A message. What's a message? I have here a verbal or written or recorded communication sent to or left for a recipient who cannot be contacted directly. Okay, that is what one of the dictionaries is telling us. But in other words, a message is something, be it information or instruction or ideas communicated from one person to another, usually via an intermediary or a medium. Okay, so we're saying that Christian message or Christian unity is a message. What comes to mind then is message from who? So who from? To whom? Another question. And what is the content of that message? Your Royal Highness, Ejata, I salute. Welcome, Pastor Haruna, aka. Okay. Welcome, our madam, and the mighty warriors. Okay. Olayigo Kere, you are welcome. Thank you for joining. Hello, yes. Okay, so we're looking at Christian message, or Christian unity as a message. By the way, for those of you who just joined us, it's a conclusion of a trilogy we started about a couple of weeks ago. We looked at the 3 M's of Christian unity. The 3 M's. The first M is the mystery of Christian message, which we took about 3 Sundays ago. The mystery of Christian message considered as a mystery. We also went, the next one was Christian message as a mandate. That was last week. Christian message, the mandate of Christian message. Today is the message of Christian message. That's the third term and the series. Okay, right. So I was saying that yes, it's a message, and I mean I have to define what a message is. But when we talk about a message, which is basically an instruction or an experience or an idea, something that passed from somebody to another person, usually through an intermediary. It might be through a verbal medium, or written or recorded, or faxed or texted, or whatever medium. Okay, that message is passed through, or through a human being. Okay, that's a message. So when we talk about a message, then we think about, okay, if Christian unity is a message, who is the message coming from? Very important. Secondly, who is the message going to? And thirdly, what is the message? What is the content of the message? Okay, let's turn our Bibles to, if you have a Bible there, feel free to turn to John 17. John 17, we look at something that Jesus said. And I have it here, I'm going to read it. John 17, I read from 20 to 23. It says, Jesus praying, that's his prayer to the Father. I do not pray for these alone, but also for those who will believe in me through their word. 21, that they all may be one, as you, Father, are in me, and I in you, that they also may be one in us, that the world may know, that the world may believe that you sent me. And the glory which you gave me, I have given them, that they may be one, just as we are one. I in them, and you in me, that they may be made perfect in one, perfect unity. And that the world may know that you have sent me, and have loved them as you have loved me. Okay. So we see Jesus praying to the Father that not only his immediate disciples might be one, but those of us who successively have come to believe in him through their testimony and the witnessing. You're praying that the Father will make us one. How to put it? Will just bind us in perfect unity. And when that happens, and the world sees that, they will believe that indeed he was sent by God. Okay, now we did mention, I want to just tap a bit into what we talked about, just one point we made when we're looking at Christian unity as a mystery. And that is that this unity that Jesus is praying about here is something that man or mankind, even Christian mankind, cannot actualize by themselves. We cannot actualize it by ourselves. We cannot psychologically muster enough will and strength to make unity happen amongst us. Oh, human beings have tried. We've had despots, emperors, cultic leaders who tried to forge people into a monochrome or a monoculture or into a groupthink, who try to uniformize people. Okay, I hear you. God bless you. God bless you. Right. All right. Thank you. Yes. So they try to do that. So we have people who maybe in communist societies or socialist societies, they try to make everybody think the same way and all that. And anybody that thinks differently, is an enemy of the state, so to say, and it deserves to be suppressed, eliminated, imprisoned, and or even, yeah, killed. So that Jesus is praying about it suggests that only God can do it. Only God can bring about unity amongst people, true unity. Secondly, we also see, we define unity during that time as something that's a secret, something where there's no clear explanation, something difficult to understand or explain, or something unexplainable or unsolvable, as your dictionary.com. And the definition from we gleaned from encyclopedia.com says it's a hidden reality or secret, a truth. A truth. Know that the mystery, the fact that something is hidden, does not mean that it's not true. A truth that human beings cannot discover except from revelation, and that even after revelation exceeds their comprehension. Mystery. So, if we say that Christian unity is a mystery, such a hidden truth, and such intangible reality, that's a contradiction in terms, but nevertheless is so. Such an intangible reality that it will take the Father, God Himself, to bring about. Hence, Jesus prayed a prayer. If we say that's a mystery, the question then is that, I would say mystery is a hidden truth. Then what's that truth that is hidden? Okay. What's the content of the message? But anyway, so, but then let's go back to, let's let it know that. So who from then, as we said, this message is coming from who? It's coming from the Lord Himself, from God Himself. It's a message, it's a sign. Christian unity is a message. Christian unity is a sign from God. He wants to communicate something to the world. He wants to impress the world with something. He wants to impress the universe with something. A sign is supposed to speak, or a sign is supposed to refers to a substance. Okay, that is if you're traveling somewhere, you see direction. Let's say they're pointing to, let's say, petrol station or service area and all that. And you see the sign. The sign is not the destination. The sign only points you to the destination, the greater reality. So the fact of Christian unity is a sign, a message from God, indicating something. And John 17 tells us what he's saying. It's telling the world that indeed Jesus was sent by God. That's very important, because not everybody, a lot of people in the world don't believe that Jesus is authentic, was sent by God. They don't believe it. Some people say he's a prophet. He's a good man, teaching sound philosophy. Some people say he's, some kind of enlightened guru or so. But it's more than that. He is the Son of God, sent by God for the redemption of mankind. He's the King of the kingdom that had come to stay. He came to launch the kingdom of heaven on earth. And he came not in his own authority, he was sent by God. And there are a lot of people who claim to be sent by God. People claim to be prophet that, prophet this, guru this, guru that, Buddha this, Buddha that. But there's only one authentic the primary, the apostle of apostles, the uniquely sent one by God. That's Jesus. But the world will not believe him until they see that sign and catch that message of Christian unity. Because in fact, I was listening to NW, is it NW? No, sorry, it's NT Wright. He's called NT Wright, the Anglican bishop, Archbishop. I don't even know, but it's a retired theology school scholar. He was explaining. He's saying that the fact that the emperors, who by the way believe that we are believed to be gods, they long to see, they want to that throughout their realm or their empire, they want to see people of different in their variety, uniformly submitting to them as Lord. In other words, they want some kind of unity under them. But that is not possible. You cannot have true unity just inspired by man, no matter how powerful or how charismatic he is. So for them, seeing Christian unity, seeing the body of Christ united, is a sign. It tells them that there's something extraordinary, something out of the ordinary happening here. Something from a higher plane and with higher authority that is on display. I'll come back to that point. So the message is from God. Also, who is the message to? Of course, Jesus said, by this the world will know. The message is to the world, to the unbelieving world, to the onlooking world. Christian unity communicates something to them. But also, not just the world, the Christian unity also communicates something to the church, to us. So when we walk in unity, in love with one another, it bears a witness. There's a witness that is born and communicated to our own heart. I read from 1 John chapter 4, verse 12. 1 John chapter 4, verse 12. It says, no one has seen God at any time. No one has seen God. But if we love one another, obviously unity is also love is a manifestation of that unity. If we love one another, God abides with us, and his love has been perfected in us. In other words, when we walk in unity, we know, we have that witness within us that God, we are assured that God is with us. Because I've seen it to the extent I've witnessed unity. I've seen situations where things that man cannot explain, things that some great is happening in the midst of a fellowship where there have been a measure, an appreciable measure of unity. I've seen this happen. I remember in University of Benin, where we needed to contribute money for, I think the whole idea was to contribute towards some projects. And I remember that day, the very few people we had remained, because the rest of people have gone back or gone home on holiday. Some of us hung around. And the money that was generated among about 30 people was enough to buy some stuff that, some things for the fellowship, just because people were united. I remember when I as a new believer, a young believer, I was involved in this drama group called Upper Room Theatre in those days, and we're supposed to do a play in Lagos City Hall then. And we needed good weather. In Nigeria, when it's raining, it's torrential. So we needed good weather to ensure that place is well attended. It was an evangelistic outreach. And I remember I tried to get water to have my bath before going down to the venue. And the cloud gathered. It was thick. It was threatening. And light drizzle began to fall. I can remember exactly where I was standing. And I looked up. I decreed, as I said, no, this rain will not fall. This rain, no, you stop, you will not fall. And when I said it, now I prayed that rain should stop, and it happened. I mean, I have testimonies to that effect. But what was different here was that Christy Okere, welcome. What was Your Royal Highness? He said this deep. Well, God is deep. Amen. Okay. Now, what was special about this very time was immediately I said it, I was aware that I was speaking, echoing the thought and the mind and the heart of all of us in that drama group. I knew that at that time, what I said was what all of us are saying, whatever part of Lagos we were in. I can never forget that experience. I knew that, yes, though we were scattered at different places, we were saying the same thing. And the rain cleared almost immediately. I mean, the cloud dispersed and some, broken. What am I saying? Jesus said that, yes, he said, if two of us shall agree together as touching one thing, see that unity? It will be done. So yes, when we work together in unity, we love each other, we do those things that unity implies. There's an assurance, there's a knowing, there's a settledness that God is with us. Okay. So I said that unity communicates something to us and also communicates something to the world at large. Who again does unity is speaking to? Christian unity. Who is he speaking to? In Ephesians chapter 3, verse 10, and I read that. Paul writing to the Ephesians, he says, to the intent that now the manifold wisdom of God might be made known by the church to the principalities and powers in heavenly places. That God's manifold, God many-sided wisdom, multifaceted wisdom. God wants his multifaceted wisdom to be made known, to be shown to principalities and powers, hierarchy of demonic and angelic beings. He wants to show them his wisdom. But it's not just to show them the wisdom by just saying, oh, I'm wise, or doing some spectacular things. No, he said, look, it's through the church. It's through the church. So when they look at the church, they look at the order. They look at the synchronicity. They look at the choreography. They look at the way we flow together. They look at the harmony and the congruency in the church, the unity. they look at they look at the church, they say, wow, that will dazzle principalities and powers. That will cause them to shake. That will cause them that yes, a different kingdom has come. That the kingdom of God has come upon them. Because they will know that to get human beings who are naturally selfish, who naturally would gravitate towards the works of the flesh, according to Galatians chapter 5:19, who always like to separate from each other or form cliques, see them uniting across gender, across races, culture, tribes, and tongues, and languages, and social classes, and economic strata, and across lines of sophistication or literacy or illiteracy or whatever, they come together under one King Jesus. Then it tells the principal powers that their time is up. Their time is up. Because that no other power can achieve such except the power of God. It's like the kingdom of God has come upon you. So we see who from God, who to, yes, Christian unity communicates, it's a message communicated to the body, to the world, to the body of Christ, and to principalities and powers. And of course, what is the message? And I've said that in different ways. I've said that in different ways. Christianity tells the world that yeah, Jesus is real. He's the authentic one that God has sent. It tells us that God is with us and we are in God. It communicates the wisdom of God, the glory of God to the principalities and powers. And it tells them that another king is in town. Jesus is, his king and his kingdom have arrived. It's a sign. Okay, I can go on and on, but I think I will leave it there. So, in conclusion, therefore, in fact, let me again. There's another lesson. Christian unity. Another message it communicates is that they will know, the world again will know that we are the authentic and genuine disciples and representatives of Christ. It's not just enough for the world to know that God has sent Christ, that Christ is real and authentic. It's also important for the world to know that we are his genuine people. We are his authorized representative on earth. The two are important. Okay, like the book of Colossians and the book of Ephesians. The book of Ephesians or Colossians looked at Christ as the head, the cosmic head of the church, and it does describe Christ and his headship in such lofty terms and great, just in lofty terms. But then, what's the point of having a head without a body? Ephesians now gets into the body. Expose about the body of Christ and what God is doing. So I have the head and the body forming a whole unit or a whole entity. So the same thing also, if you look at Elijah prayed a prayer where he called fire down on Mount Carmel. He said, he prayed that God should answer, by answering by fire, that God will prove to the Israelites, the backsliding Israelites, that he indeed is God, that Jehovah is indeed God. Because that was what is at issue. Is that is Baal God or is it Jehovah that is God? So God, by releasing fire, he said you prove you bring this people back to you, and by showing that you are the true God. But that's not enough. But that I, Elijah, that I am your servant, and have done this things according to your leading or prompting or your comes to your word. So in other words, it's not just enough that the Israelites knew that Jehovah is God. It's also important for them to know that Elijah was his true prophet. The same thing here. We see on those two scriptures, the one I read from John 17, where I say that if we are united, if we have unity among us, the world will know that Jesus is truly sent by God. That's great, but that's not good enough. It's important that the world also knows that we are real. We represent Jesus Christ as his body. So it says here in John chapter 13, verse 35, say, a new commandment I give to you, that you love one another as I have loved you, Jesus says, that you also love one another. By this, by loving one another, again, unity, all we know that you are my disciples. If you have love of another, they will know that we belong to Christ. Okay, and Christ came from God. In conclusion, given that Christian unity is a mystery, as we've seen, given that Christian unity is a mandate, and given that Christian unity is a message, we need to understand it. Understand the mystery, understand the mystery, because the mystery is hidden through, but it's hidden for us to discover. Amen. We need also to fulfill its mandate. As a mandate, we need to fulfill the mandate of Christian unity. It's commanded upon us. It's the responsibility is standing upon us, as we saw last week from Ephesians chapter 4 and other places, that we are called to endeavor to operate in this unity. Yeah, to walk in the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. And as a message, we need to communicate it. We need to communicate its intended message. The message encoded. We need to communicate, transmit that message that is encoded in the Christian unity, the sign of Christian unity. Every Christian, we must remember that solemn statement of Jesus in Matthew 12:30 and take it as a warning. He says, that I read from Good News version, anyone who is not for me is really against me. Anyone who does not help me gather is really scattering. You know that? He who is not for me is against me. He who is not gathering with me is scattering. If we are not pulling together and encouraging and promoting unity of the body of Christ, then we are scattering. We are sabotaging the effort. What God is doing. We're sabotaging it. We're working across purposes with God. And I don't want to be found in that position. What about you? Thank you very much for listening to this. Thank you for your company. God bless you. Please share with somebody, share people. It's a message that needs to ring around the world, the Christian world. And see, when we get it right, as a sign, the world, we got all this issue of tribalism, let's say in some of that racism and all that, all those divisions we see in the nations, that's causing all this confusion, will diminish, because they will see a model to copy, even if it's imperfectly. They will see a model to copy. Okay, but as a church, we need to kind of get it right in that circle, where we of Christian friendship and fellowship and all that. God bless you. Thank you very much, and see you next Sunday. Amen. Have a nice week. And Oye Ohaka, you are late, my friend. You're late. How are you? Okay, yeah, to just finish our discussion on the Christian unity. How are you doing, my friend? God bless you. God bless you. Have a great week, everybody. Great week. And I remain Reverend Cyril of Citygate Ministries International. God bless you.